this out. We're going to be back at the beginning of chapter 3 on activity page 4.1, which is page 37. We have this. So at the top, who's at the top of our gods and goddesses family tree?
Zeus.
It's Zeus / Jupiter, right? We know he's like the head of all the immortals, so we have him up there. We know he's the top god and he carried a thunderbolt. Is this some information we gathered the other day as well?
Yes.
Yes. Next up, and we can use our page to help us, we have Hera. What's Hera's other name? Juno. In Rome, they call her Juno, so you can add that in.
What page? Where are you going?
This is page 37. What do we know about Hera or Juno? And we can look at the page as well. So we're going back and kind of filling in some information. What do we know about her, Charlie? Kason, what do we know about her? She's the goddess of marriage. Good. You can add that in there. Now, this is those quick taking notes. Are we writing complete sentences on here?
No.
No, quick notes. Emery, what else do we know about her? Jupiter's wife. Fabulous. Those are important things to know about her. Some of these we did not learn about. So Hades / Pluto, he's the god of the underworld. Did we read about him today?
No.
Nope. So we don't have that on there. We don't want to fill it out. We don't need to worry about it anyway. We also, next up, though, we have Poseidon. What's Poseidon's other name?
Neptune.
Neptune. We can see that in our reading as well. Make sure you spell it correctly. What do we know about Neptune? Cooper.
That he carried a 3-pointed spear.
What was that 3-pronged spear called?
Tiber.
A trident. Cooper, great job going back into your text to find that. You did a good job describing it as the text did, and you went back in to find that word. He carried a trident. What else do we know about him, how he fits in with the family there? Viola, what do we know about him?
That he is Mary's brother.
It's Jupiter's brother. Do you guys remember that? Yes, dear.
King of the seas.
He's the king of the seas. I think an important one is he's Jupiter's brother because he ties in. We have one that's already filled out for us because we did not learn about her, and it's Hestia or Vesta, and she's the goddess of the hearth. A fireplace, I assume? Like goddess of, I don't know. We'll look it up later. Remind me and we'll look up for sure what that means. Sound good? Because I don't know. I don't know the background knowledge on that one. We have a few more down here. Now, I'm going to give you guys, remember we talked about working fast today? I'm going to give you a few minutes to fill this out, but I want to give you some clues on how to fill it out. You ready? Eyes up here. They have Apollo, Hermes, Ares, Aphrodite, Athena, and then a blank one. This is the cool piece, is if I'm looking at Apollo, I can pull out my book and look on this page, and Apollo's other name is?
Apollo.
I can look. Hermes' other name is? Mercury. So you can use this to help you. And then once you figure that out, you can go to the page and write down a quick fact about them, right? So we're just kind of filling it in. Is this similar to what we did the other day? It's just more contact with those gods and goddesses and getting to know about them. 5 minutes. We're moving on in 5 minutes. Go for it. One thing I want to show you, let's go pencils down, eyes up here. We're going to move on from this, but I want to show you something that's kind of cool. So down at the bottom, and I don't have it shown, but we have the key at the bottom, and this is what's going to make it that family tree piece. It's down at the bottom, we see if it's a straight line, it's a brother or a sister of Zeus / Jupiter. If it's a dotted line, it's a child of Zeus. So that's why he's at the top. So when we start to look at it, we see some of the brothers and sisters, like Poseidon's a brother. Hestia or Vesta is a brother or a sister. Hades is a brother. Hera is a sister. So those are his sisters, which is kind of cool.
Hera is his wife. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both. And then we get, yep. And then we get into children of Zeus. So then we have like Hermes, Apollo, Amistus, Mars, Venus, Cupid, Athena. That's considered children. So now we all know, yes, it gets confusing, right? So this goes with like, one, are these people real? No. So, and we know that they all have to be connected somehow, right? So yes, it gets weird. It gets confusing where it's, okay, well, Venus is his daughter and Cupid is Venus's son, but also his son. It's just because somehow they all have to be interconnected. So they just tied them in different ways. Remember, this is all what? Fake. It's fiction. So but that's what to see that family tree is that they're all connected somehow. So it's just very interesting though to start to see how that family tree works. And with those dotted lines and those straight lines and who belongs to who and who goes where and what they're a god or a goddess of. Can you imagine this being what you followed and your brain having to keep track of all of this? Just very interesting, right? And that's why those stories are created that connects them and interconnects them too. So just something to keep in mind that's very interesting.